Woo! We are live. Welcome and happy Sunday to another Saga Live show. We have an interesting show for you guys. We're not going to be ragging on GT4s that much. But we do have a couple topics for you guys today. For one, we're going to be talking about F1's new regulations around their cars and particularly their hybrid system, because there are some issues there. We're going to be talking about the GT3 and why Felix thinks that that's better than the 718 GT4 RS. And I'm going to be putting Felix on the spot towards the end of the video, asking him to play a funny game to see what he responds with. And then you guys can roast him for his opinions down in the comments below. But Felix, how you feeling, man?
Doing good. Excited to be here. Yeah, today might be a little bit spicy, but we have a couple things to talk about. Obviously, if you guys have any questions throughout this entire conversation, feel free to leave them down in the chat. Yeah, again, we're not trying to sell anything here. We're just trying to give you guys information. So I guess here goes.
Well, on the topic of selling stuff, let's go ahead and try to pay some bills here, okay?
Okay.
So for one, if you guys don't have track insurance, link down in the description below. Get yourself some track insurance, because if you're driving a $250,000 car plus all the mods and then you're not having it covered, I think you're a little crazy for that. Two, if you don't have a proper data system in your car and you're not willing to spend 5 G's or even 1,000 to get something like a Garmin, well, we already did a review on the Draggy Pro, which we did a comparison against, what, 3 other timers?
3 other timers, yeah.
And it was really good for the price. So if you don't want to commit to a $5,000 or even $1,000 system, the Draggy Pro is an excellent option. $25 off with the Saga 25 discount code. So we're, again, only products that we back here, because if we backed everything, well, we'd be shills. Anyway.
Hey Larry, how you doing, man?
Larry. So let's get F1 out of the way real quick, because we started having a conversation about this. We actually brought it up during the last live when we were discussing regen. So for those, I actually had to do some digging because I'm not super into like watching F1 every weekend. And for what I found was that the new cars have a hybrid system. The car's making about 1,000 horsepower, but it's split between the V6 combustion side and then the electric side. So 50% is being made by the V6 combustion side, and then 50% is being made by the electric side. The issue with that, though, is when it comes to voltage and how long they can keep maximum power, because obviously batteries drain. And they only can regen, I think, like 1 kilojoule or something like that with braking. So why don't you just help break this down a little bit more for the people, so we understand what this ultimately means when it comes to performance and ultimately the entertainment of the sport.
Well, so obviously any new regulation, the reason new regulations are created is because usually a team, they make the certain regulation change, and then there be one team who hops on better than others or does better than the others, and they usually kind of stay on top of it, or if they start winning off the rip, they usually keep that, right? So every few years, Formula One decides to do a regulation change. It seems like Formula One has tried to get greener as the time goes by, and for them, greener, or for, I guess, people in general, greener means battery, and then it means more battery. I mean, that happened to us on the streetcar side, right? Where all of these states started pushing like, we're going to be fully electric by 2035, and then turns out we can't even support the grid that we currently have. Anyways, but yeah.
Except for Texas, because Texas has a pretty steep tax when it comes to EVs in Texas.
Yeah.
I think it's like $200 to register your EV.
Yeah, Larry could probably tell us. Larry has a Tesla. But anyways, so the previous generation rule set, I think the split was like 80-20, so 80 on the combustion. 80% of the power came from the combustion side. I think they're making around the same horsepower, and then 20 came from an electric assist.
Yeah.
Right? Now for this current generation set, they also changed the aerodynamic concept of the car, but we're not talking about that right now. Now they went to 50% is made by the engine and 50% is made by of the power total is made by the battery. So what we're seeing is basically drivers having the ability to add power whenever they want. So that's why we're starting to see passing in really weird sections where they wouldn't before, because at that point they're playing like the cat and mouse game where one of the guys is trying to like recharge, and then when you see that guy recharge, right, because they have flashing lights in the back of the car that tells the other driver that they're recharging. So it's like it's all a game of like how much battery you using your battery when the other guy's not, to get ahead or getting ahead in key parts of the track, or staying behind at key parts of the track.
That's
right?
interesting.
So that you have more overtake, because there's also this thing called overtake where they give them extra battery, but they allow them to deploy extra battery, but you also have to have stored it, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know how all this works, but what it's doing, which we've seen on the streetcar side. On the streetcar side, we've obviously been seeing hybrids for a while, but hybrids are starting to become more and more common. And I'm experienced mostly on the Porsche side, and all I can say, the more hybrid we have been pushing, the more problems we have been seeing. So like John's turbo hybrid Cayenne, it's got problems that Porsche can't fix. Like you take it in because it has like a, right now it has an airbag light, like super random. Before that it had just like a maintenance light, and you take it to Porsche and they're like, we don't know what to do, because it's a software side.
Yeah.
It's an issue on the software side. And for the past couple races, we've seen, I think for the past 4 or 5 Formula One races, I want to be clear, we've seen like 5 to 7 cars end up being, some of them don't even make the grid, and then some end up having issues throughout the race, right? This will end up being ironed out, but again, completely not surprised, because we see that on the streetcar side where huge manufacturers just can't figure out electric cars, or the electric side of cars. Now, on the fully electric side, we're still even working on that, because Porsche, I don't know if you guys knew this, but the Taycans, like the full electric cars, they sat at dealers for months.
I actually like those.
Yeah, well, no, they're great
touring.
looking, but they sat at dealers for months because Porsche, like the batteries were all of a sudden, like the cars would shut off on the street. And then like just crazy stuff. So I get the whole going green thing, but if the thing is going green, why don't we just put like a big engine in it and put green, like put fuel in it that's gonna become green. Yeah, they're doing that as well, but just why the electric side? I don't get it. We're halfway there to being a Formula E, to watching Formula E.
I guess that's the difference, right? Is that if they go all electric, then what's the difference between Formula One and Formula E at that point, right? Because when I was doing some research on it before we had the live, the first topics that were coming up was about Formula E.
Yeah.
And what they had to do as far as, compensating for lap times and power and, regeneration. It all becomes a part of the game at that point. But I think to your point, or to what you mentioned earlier, what they're trying to do is make the sport more fun to watch. Because now they're giving drivers, it's like playing a video game and having the turbo button, right? Yeah. So now you can hit that, because they have something like boost, and then they have overtake. So now you have to sacrifice some of your battery if you want to overtake going into a corner or coming out of a corner, whereas somebody might be trying to regen at that point. Because I think Max Verstappen like 2 years ago was talking about how they would have to lift at the end of a straight to not deplete the battery as much at a place like Monza.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's this. I understand why, and yes, on the spectator side, we're seeing more back and forth, quote unquote, closer racing. But it's just like weird to see cars like derate at the end of the straights, or guys keeping super high RPMs on entry because they want to keep the regen going. It's a different form of racing. I don't think it translates to anything that we're doing on the street. It kind of does, but it kind of goes away from what we're used to doing on the track, right? which is trail braking all the way into the corner. I guess they have different tools. They need to learn how to use the tools. I understand it from both sides, but it's just weird form of racing for sure.
I think the biggest benefit to this is going to be because all this stuff trickles down.
For sure.
All that technology, they spend millions of dollars on developing it for racing, and then, production cars take that technology
5-10 years later,
and then put it into production cars. So I think the biggest issue that they're going to have is the fact that the voltage isn't regulated evenly throughout the entire span of the battery, right? So you start the race with a full battery, and as you progress each lap, you're losing power, which means that they have to tune down the voltage being sent, right?
Deployed, yeah.
Because if not, if you're running, it's almost like computer parts, or portable computer parts, right? Where if you're running at like 80 watts, you're going to have less longevity on that battery than if you did running at like 45 watts.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a cap on, because I know that they used to have like, you can use this many engines throughout the Formula One season. I don't know if they're going to have something similar on battery or battery cells, but I'm sure everything is like how much the car is deploying and how much they're able to regen is definitely being
the regen
monitored.
The regen is definitely like they can only regen, I think it's 1 kilojoule, something like that. I don't remember, but they said it was like enough to recharge an iPhone like 20 times.
Yeah, and you know what? If you think about it, like that's why one team is always so good, is because I think they try to like even the horsepower side on the power units, and then they also try to even the side of the battery deployment, right? But there's probably a margin that they allow that to, right? If they allow it to 3 to 5%, or a deviation of 3 to 5% plus or minus. If you have a team on the bottom side, on one side, and then on the top side, then it kind of is a wash. But if you have someone like Mercedes, that's plus 3% on the battery side and then plus 3% on the engine side, that's why you just see them fucking run away with, because not only do they have the best engine power, they also have the best deployment, or maybe the best recharge rate, or I don't know.
I don't know about I don't know, because the recharge rate is, how much they regenerate is regulated by the FIA right now.
Yeah, well, it's deployment, yeah.
I think whoever can determine how to regulate the power so it remains consistent throughout each lap at the end of the back straight, whoever can figure out how to keep the same amount of power at the end of the back straight versus on exit, lap after lap after lap, is going to win.
Yeah.
If they can consistently do that. But how do they do that? Computer part manufacturers haven't figured that out over the course of 30 years of building like mobile laptops and stuff like that. More than 30 years at this point. They haven't figured it out. But again, computer manufacturers aren't doing this for competition and aren't doing this to win anything, right? So for production purposes or for production computer purposes, there's really no point. Now, if Mercedes can figure out how to regulate that voltage so it's consistent lap after lap after lap without killing the battery and without restricting how the driver drives the car, then we'll see that trickle down not only into production vehicles, but into the, consumer electronic market.
Yeah, I mean, there has to be much more than we're even like aware of, but with you speaking down on how it trickles down to the consumer market, I am kind of concerned that our future becomes this unpredictable car, right? Because we're gonna, like, say in the future, we take a car that makes 50% of its power on the engine side, and then makes 50, I don't know, let's say 60-40, because 50-50 is pretty crazy. But let's say 60% comes through the engine, and then 40% has to be made electronically. I think we're going to be stuck on the same side of where we're going to have a predictable car under us, or or a car that's not going to be deploying consistent power every corner, because the car's not going to know that you're at COTA. The car's not going to know that I should only be deploying here and there, unless they leave deployment to just the consumer, and then we have to deal with how much battery we're using and where we're leaving it, where we're not doing it. But what I'm getting to is, if the car is doing it automatically, we're going to find ourselves going into turn 11 or turn 12, sometimes going at 150, and then sometimes at 155. And what sucks about it is that like in our cars, or like Larry in his car, us in the GT4 RS, you get to that brake zone and you know you're gonna be within 1 or 2 miles an hour. Feeling it in your pants like, ooh, the car feels a little bit spicy out of 11 this time. You're gonna have to be looking down. So there's gonna be more, there's gonna be a lot more to do in the cars. And I mean, there's time to do it on the back straight at Coda, but some long straights really don't have time for you to be looking down at the dash or having a reference point on how much faster am I going. So
I think it's going to be interesting for sure to see how this goes. I mean, Larry is saying that what's measured is output in megajoules. I could have sworn that this morning I was looking at something where they regulated how much they can actually regen, but that could have been the Formula E or whatever it's called, because that's probably that's the predominant thing that you're going to find if you look up regeneration on YouTube right now. But this just leaves a lot of room for improvement.
For sure.
Right now, this is just the beginning of this regulation.
Yeah.
So cars will look like this for now, and then next year the cars, each team will figure out how to fix this problem.
Oh, for sure, absolutely, yeah. And then the fast guys should only get fast. Like everyone just levels up, right? And then sometimes the people at the top, they have less gains, and then everyone kind of closes up. But we'll see. I mean, at least the racing is a little bit more entertaining. But it's just...
Well, how much more entertaining? Because we saw like Mercedes right now is just like, they're kind of dusting everybody off right now.
Yeah, but if you look at the end of the last regulations, it was just like, sometimes the way they started the grid is the way everybody finished.
Yeah.
And we're not seeing that. We're seeing drivers come up to the grid and their batteries are completely dead, like Max Verstappen. He's like, what the fuck's going on with my battery? And then he can't deploy anything because the car's not like in a ready state. So it's, I don't know. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. They have more to do.
Hey, that's already just confirming what Max Verstappen was talking about, because I looked at his interview where he was like ragging on this 2 years ago. He's like, I'm not looking forward to this. This is dumb. This is going to change the sport. And boom, look at him. Battery. So he's basically racing with like 500 horsepower.
Yeah.
Instead
he's launching with 500, yeah. And then the 1,000 hits all of a sudden, and then he has a wheel spin. It's kind of cool. Hey, Simon, how you doing, man?
Simon, okay, well, we'll see what comes of this, right? Because I think I'm more looking forward to the technology aspect of how this develops, because long term, like I said, if they figure out how to regulate this, and because battery technology is just getting used more and more and more and more and more, not only in the automotive scene, but like I said, consumer electronics have been using batteries forever. So how can you make batteries better and last longer and be more efficient without losing power, right? Because on like the mobile computer side of things, I have like tablets with insane APUs, and how much juice you provide that APU is going to determine how much power you get out of it. So if they can figure all this stuff out, it's going to affect consumer products on a much larger scale.
But I mean, yes, it's kind of one of those things like NASA, right?
Yeah.
We got the impact driver from NASA, right? Because they couldn't plug into a 110 volt extension cord while they were floating out in space. So yeah, it's good for everybody. But if they're going green, why don't they just put like a sustainable fuel in the car and then put a V10 in it?
I don't know. That's a good question, because that might all just be marketing, because people understand battery as like green, right? But looking at how they're doing fuel, they're using like vegetables to do carbon, or I don't understand all the science behind it, but they're already using renewable sources for fuel, and they're even talking about even the waste of it all, how they're trying to recycle all of that stuff. So they're doing more than just the engines. I think the hybrid just gives them like a little bit more of an extra tool to make it more like a video game. Like I like the idea of a takeover button, right? They press takeover and then they can.
Yeah. But
they're sacrificing something. So it's not like you can just. You can just, like in a video game, you can just spam it as soon as you get it. You can just spam it as long as you have it. But in F1, go ahead, spam it and kill your battery and impact the rest of the race. So you have to be strategic. And I think the strategy add to Formula One is what's going to make it more interesting.
Yeah, and Larry, yes, said they are running sustainable fuels. No, I completely understand they're already running, but if that's the green part of it, then why don't you just put a V10 or V12 in the car that makes 1,200 horsepower, and then what's coming out the tailpipe is green, and then you don't have to be dealing with all these electric issues, and I guess because it's not up to date with the current tech, right? I get it, yeah.
The
says
road
the
car
electric-
evaluation.
The electric increase isn't about green, it's about being more relevant to the road car. Yeah, I mean, that attracted the manufacturers back when we were leaving the sport. Sure.
Hey, back for I mean, I don't know about who left the sport.
Honda, I think.
But didn't they just come back?
Yeah, I mean, that's what he said, yeah.
So they're coming back in a more green way. Okay, I guess we'll see, because I'm looking forward to it, because now that I understand what they're doing a little bit more, because before it's like whoever built the best car and whoever had the best driver, it was like you're gonna win. And even if you had like the best car and like a semi-good driver that knew what he was doing, you're probably gonna be.
What if they did it like, I don't know, by standing on track for them to like limit deployment by a percentage? So if you're like first, that way there's not like a runaway, right? But then you'd have everyone kind of sandbagging till the end.
No, yeah, because it'd be like going to K1 for karting.
Oh yeah.
At K1 at karting, they regulate how much power everybody has. So it's not until you start lapping people where they're like, no, they're going to give you more juice, or until you get to a certain time. So I think
It'd be cool. It'd be cool.
Even it out, make it even, and then let them fight it out on how they want to manage this. Let them fight it out.
Yeah, it's just weird. It's a weird form of racing, but I get it. It's still racing. It's being entertaining. This is what
Hey,
gamification is.
hey, don't get me wrong. Hey, I'm great at Mario Kart. Hey, ask them. I've already been playing this game.
Oh, jeez, he literally has.
Okay, well, listen, we'll just have to see how it plays out. Right now, Mercedes has the dominant car. They have two excellent drivers. And things are supposed to change in the coming future. So how those regulations change is going to perhaps impact them even more. There is a lot more cool technology when it comes to how they're doing the aero, because now the floor matters more than the front wing, than the rear wing, because they're trying to make it so that there's less dirty air, so they get closer.
I think these are flat bottom cars.
Yes, they are flat bottom cars, and now there's DRS on the front wing, not just on the rear wing. So there's a lot of stuff that they're doing to, like Larry said, gamify this to make it so that racing isn't just McLaren and Red Bull walking away with, well, maybe not Red Bull, McLaren and Max walking away with everything. They're giving everybody tools to be able to approach faster, follow, and then have tools to be able to pass in some cases. So we'll see how drivers take advantage of that.
Yeah, I mean, Mercedes has a dominant powertrain, this and that. I mean, but they also have their aero concept, right? And like, you know what I mean? It's not just the power deployment that's going to make you win a race, right? Because we see it on the track. Not because you have 700 or 800 horsepower means that you're the fastest guy out there.
But I can see the work that they're doing now is going to make it so that when F1 and the FI decides to go 25 power combustion, 75 electric,
Dude, I hope not.
That's going to change everything.
I hope not.
And then who knows? Maybe Formula E then becomes like the big thing where now you see like the Max Verstappens and stuff going to Formula E. Well, I mean, not Verstappen himself, but people of that caliber. Who knows? We're just speculating here. So
It's whatever.
All right, guys. So we're gonna move on to, let's just roast Felix for a little bit on. Well, maybe not roast him, because
That's fine.
you said the GT3 is the GT car. Many people like Larry, he's talking about you, should have bought.
And kind of,
Should have bought instead of buying a GT4 RS in the first place. So I guess let me ask you this, right? To me, I think you targeted more the people who are buying the GT4 RS and spending the money on the SSRs and the Dundon kits and the whoever else makes a package. I think that's who you were targeting more, because it's funny because we posted that video, and then on my lap video, somebody commented like, hey, I spent all my money on the GT4 RS. I don't have money for parts. What should I get for the car? So let's just be clear. Are you saying that the GT4 RS, if that's like the most money you have to buy a car, should you still try to go look for maybe a 991.2 GT3 or a 992.1 GT3?
You know, this goes way back. So for those, I'm pretty sure Simon and Larry watched the video, but if you guys haven't, this past week we posted a video on me taking our 992.1 GT3 to the track on sticky rubber for the first time. I was shocked then that the car was so good, but like I shouldn't have been shocked, right? In one of our videos, I think when you posted on Instagram, I'm not even talking about like a modded 4RS, but I'm like, the GT3 is a much better car than the 4RS. And then someone, what did he comment? He's like, genius. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, why didn't I think about it this way before? But it's because when I started my track day career, I started in a Cayman, right? So you live in that world where like, I like the balanced car and the Cayman is better and this and that. And if Porsche ever puts a real engine in it, it's gonna be better than everything. And then we got the orange car and it's like, okay, time to push this thing. And then I think we took it pretty far.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, like we definitely took it pretty far. And for some time I also drove a 911, but the GT4 is just I don't know. I guess at some point I got attached to the whole mid-engine thing. One thing I'm glad I never did on that car was go full crazy and throw like a crap ton of mods to the car. And then I drive the 992 and I'm like, I shouldn't be surprised, but like I shouldn't be surprised that it's the better car, but it's definitely the better car.
Now, well, let's add some context to this, right?
Okay.
Because that weekend, you not only drove the GT3, you drove the GT4, you drove the GT3 RS, you drove the Dundon car, you drove the SSR car, you drove the orange car. So it isn't the fact that you're just saying this, having the ability to drive these cars. You drove all of them. You drove like what, 5-6 cars in one weekend. So you're getting the real feeling hopping between these cars, where you came to that conclusion. To me, I expect a 911 to just be better than a Cayman. I just expect it to be. I think Porsche spent more time developing.
It's their flagship car.
Yeah, it's their flagship car. So it's like trying to compare like in tech mind, the iPhone whatever Pro Max versus the regular iPhone SE or whatever came out, right? So they're giving you enough bang for the buck. Now, again, I'm gonna ask you this and I want an answer. And by the way, Larry, I don't think Felix cracked the windshield on it.
I think that was
Tim.
Tim.
I think that was Tim who cracked the windshield on it. But
anybody want to guess how much that windshield cost? Anyways.
Hey, put it in. Let's when we're done with the conversation, we'll reveal it. Put it down in the chat right now. How much you think that windshield costs? It's a crack. It's a pretty decent crack, and it's not on the top. It's like on the passenger side that goes almost halfway. So let us know, or is it on the driver's side? I don't remember.
It's not.
But I remember touching it and I'm pushing on it, and I could see it flexing like, ooh, this isn't good. And then Felix goes and he pushes on it even more. I'm like, brother, it's cracked. Just leave it there.
Leave it alone.
But what I want to answer on though is, okay, people have GT4 RS money. Let's just say 250 grand to get a dedicated track car. What are they getting? Are they getting a GT4 RS that they can learn and develop in? Or are you saying skip that and go get X? And what is X?
It all depends.
Nah, brother, I don't want to hear no all depends, nothing. Just give me the answer and then give me the depends, okay?
Where I sit now, I'm just like, just go 911. It doesn't matter if it's the new version or the old version. That's all I'm gonna say right now.
All right, well then tell me why. Tell me why.
Okay,
Give me
so
a
the reason why is, like I said in the video, the car, I mean, at least the 992.1s, they have, it's better suspension geometry in the front and it's better suspension geometry in the rear. So like I said, you throw grip to the car and the car actually knows what to do with it. Now, in the comments for the YouTube video, I did see a few people commented that own all of these cars.
Good,
right?
finally.
Yeah, and they're like, yeah, they kind of all live in their own world, and Porsche didn't they kind of did handicap the Caymans, right? Because they have McPherson. And honestly, the GT4 RS is kind of like a sketchy car to drive at the limit. But what a lot of people do have in common saying is that since the GT4 RS is so sketchy, and it might be a little bit more raw because it has the engine right behind you, it's a little bit more balanced, the intakes are right there next to you. Everyone was of the opinion, like, you go fast in a 4RS, you're gonna be quick. Like, you're gonna be able to hop on the GT3 and be fast because it's a much, I've said this already, it's a much easier horse to ride. And they're two completely different cars. They're cars that we kind of shouldn't be comparing. Obviously not to the .2 because there's a $50,000 gap. But if you're just planning on going to the track, making the car adjustable, having a good time, GT4 RS. If you're going to eventually, which we're all gonna fall down that rabbit hole of wanting to mod the crap out of anything, whether it's you buy a pickup, next thing you know, it's got wheels, tires lifted, right? At least if you go a little bit of off-road. I know we can talk about this, but guns, right?
Yeah.
You buy one and then all of a sudden it's got a light, it's got a trigger, it's got this, it's got that. With track cars, I can imagine. I don't do it because I can't afford it, but I can imagine having a 4RS and going down that slippery slope of wanting to put in an exhaust, putting MCS on it, putting this on it. And it's hard to, I mean, now it's easy to see it from the outside, but I really was of the opinion that you throw this much amount of mods on the 4RS and the 4RS is going to be GT3 RS capable, but we just haven't seen that. Why? Because the car has a chassis that limits you. And I said that in the video, like literally the second you throw more than like a 305 or 315 in the rear, the tire is hitting on the body.
Okay.
And it's like rubbing on the fender. Nobody wants to cut their fenders, but what I'm saying is the car is so limited. If I had to do it again, I wouldn't try to go crazy with the 4RS, but we proved a good point there that it is a capable car. It's not a GT3. It's not a 911.
Because I just looked up what Larry's saying. It's pretty loaded. They're about $215K for a GT4 RS, and I'm looking online right now, and I'm seeing.
But that's current market.
That's current market.
That's current market. They used to be more expensive. We got ours. I think ours was like a 2.
And it's a white sock, right?
Yeah, ours is a white sock. The car was like a 220 sticker car, and we got it for 50 over. So we paid like 270 for the orange car.
50 over, Jesus. So right now I'm looking at a couple cars here in Texas. 189,000 with 3,000 miles. 192,000, 213.
Okay.
So anywhere between 180 and $215,000 for a dedicated track car.
Yeah.
What GT3 is coming in at that price? Don't worry, I'll wait.
Say it. So what number is it that you're looking for? Because
between 180,000 and 215,000, what 911 GT3 is coming in at that price?
the 992.1.
992.1 is coming in at let's just average it out 200K.
John bought his for 200,000.
That's just with the gentian blue one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That was a $200,000 car. And Larry, you're saying, so, hi guys, you were off with the prices. By the way, my Forest is pretty loaded at 215. Okay, so it's 215, but what did you pay for it? Because I do recall, I think Matt paid like 230, 240 for his. Plus 60 or plus 50 or how much? Matt said he's in it for like over 300 for sure.
Okay, but so that's why I brought up the question, right? Is if, like we discussed last week, I get that Matt is trying to get a car to act how he wants it to act. So he spent all the money on the car.
Good luck.
Well,
I mean, that's what we're learning, right? In the 4RS, it's kind of one of those like
he tuned it out as much as he could for his driving style.
Yeah, he's getting there.
So at 300 grand, okay, a GT3 just sounds like 992.2 GT3 sounds like it'd be reasonable at that price point. But to what Larry is saying, at $215,000, a 992 GT3. You know what? We're just gonna Google. We're just gonna go on a Googling marathon right now because that's.
So look, this is where you're gonna find the disparity, and I don't know if this is the current market or what's going on right now, but 4RSs just seem like they're not holding their value, and 911s kind of always do, because you still see GT3s in the mid, like dot ones in the mid 200s, obviously more.
Brother, come on.
What's
This is $244,000 for a GT3.
Yeah, that's a dot one. Yeah.
That's a dot one. 992.
But if we go MSRP to MSRP, the MSRP on that car is like, let me see it. Yes, it's a ceramic brakes car. The MSRP on that car is like 210, and then Larry said his was 215. Now,
Brother, we're not talking about this. The people are watching this video as of right now, as of March 22nd. What car should they get?
The GT3.
At 200. Listen, I'm not talking about the Larrys and the Matts in the world who are just like, yo, I'm just gonna throw $30,000 to $70,000 at a parts kit. The average dude who may have just broke even with being able to get a $200,000 car just for the track. You're still telling them to go spend an extra $40,000 to get a GT3.
Yeah. I mean, get one with more miles.
That one already had like 70,000 miles on it, brother.
I'm just saying that the GT4 RSs or the Caymans, for some reason, are depreciating right now, and the 911s are up.
Bump all this. Get a GT4. I'm having a great time in that car.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna miss it whenever John decides to get rid of that car.
Yeah.
But to me, that's just a huge, and maybe that's because I have poor man's brain, right? Where it's like $40,000 is a whole extra car that you can buy to get around town.
A whole extra lot, yeah.
I mean, $40,000 gets you a pretty decent little fucking car to get around the road. So for you to say that for that extra performance that you get,
if they're chasing ultimate lap time, yes. If the guy just wants to go to the track, have some fun, have a reliable car, have a car that's fun, get a Manti car. I think I saw a Manti car with like 15,000 miles sell for like $185. I'm like, just go get that.
keep in mind, I bought my parts over a period of almost 5 years.
Yeah.
Larry's had the GT4 RS over 5 years?
So some of his parts came from the GT4.
Okay.
Yeah.
So listen, I get it because I see it on like the street car scene a lot where people buy a Honda and then they want to go ahead and spend more money on parts than the car costs.
Yeah.
So I get it. There's a level of like, I don't know what's so compelling. I don't know, but I understand it because I have the same problem where I'm like, I get a car and I want to go ahead and put it on bags and change the wheels and do all this other stuff to it.
You just have different flavors for different folks. That's it, right? But if you're a GT4 RS that's trying to like compete at the top, like you just can't.
But compete at the top of
with
what?
Who?
Because,
yeah, with what?
because
with who?
You're not talking about like there isn't a single race class, a single pro level race class where you're just going. The GT3s are competing with the Caymans.
No,
there isn't a single one.
They can't.
But I will tell you that whenever I'm in a Cayman GT4 and I'm passing a 911 or I'm passing a GT3 RS, I'm just like, suck it.
No, you're absolutely
you know
right.
What I'm saying?
You're absolutely right.
So I think there's something a little bit extra to be had with the Caymans than there is to be had with the 911s. Even though I'm a sucker for our white car, like that car is just. I like it so much.
This just proves something else. That companies saying this Cayman with these parts is going to compete with the GT3 RS should have never said shit like that, right? Just say like this. These parts in this Cayman made it the ultimate Cayman. The 911s literally live in their own fucking world, and that's where we should have left them.
You know what? All right. So there, I'm not going to argue with it. But to Jason here, I think I'm on Team Cayman, and maybe that's because I have a natural bias because that's the first track car that I was put in. I'm having a great time. I mean, in December, everybody was like, "Oh, drive the GT3," and I was like, "No." I was like, "No." And even last month, I had the choice of being able to get in that car because you don't care. at this point you trust me enough.
Yeah.
I got in. I spent all my sessions in the Cayman. So for me, I'd rather be in the Cayman. For one, it's closer to the price bracket that I could actually afford, and then two, I think I'm getting more out of it instead of relying on how good the car is to teach me how to drive.
Yeah.
But when it comes to this whole claim of buy these parts and you'll get GT3 level performance, or I think one of the companies is actually claiming the 4 RS can get to GT3 RS levels of performance. I could be wrong on that.
And they're like missing a step.
And well, they're missing the whole fact that no, like we discussed, and I'm adamant. I feel about this. I feel very strongly about this. I do not think that none of these parts are actually getting you lap time. They're getting you behavioral changes in the car, and even with all that, you're not getting close to a GT3 RS.
Here you go. So what these parts get you is consistency and repeatability in the GT4 RS. But when you're bolting on $60,000 worth of parts, who gives a shit about consistency? You want ultimate lap time. And those are two completely different things.
Okay, man, we're gonna end up fighting on this one, because
I do want to answer Jason. He says, what if chasing ultimate fun, 992.1 GT3? Look, what's the word that I'm looking for? Fun for you is different than fun for me. So you find your definition of fun.
No, Jason, you're right.
It's subjective, right?
It is subjective to a degree, but I'm on Team Cayman, and I'm saying Jason's right.
Jeez. And then Larry's like, this is where the driver matters more.
I mean, that's in every single car, right? But
I struggled to make the GT3 video because I am Team Cayman. And,
no, you're not.
You're
not. We kicked you out.
Hold on. And then I am like, but why am I surprised? Like, why? Like, where did the confusion happen on me trying to want to think that a Cayman could compete with a 911?
Well, I think it's marketing, right? I think it's a lot of companies are trying to push that this can make the car feel like X. And I don't think that it's remotely even close to being able to feel that way.
Then I'm going to fucking roll the bowling ball to your side and be like, well, we did have a Cayman that beat the GT3 that weekend.
Which one?
The SSR car. That's why I said almost every...
I'm going to say this again. Until Felix puts the same Pirellis on the orange car and we set a flyer in it, I cannot comfortably say, and neither can you, that the SSR package was the reason why you were able to put that car anywhere on track.
Yeah. Package alone.
Package alone, you're not convincing me of it. I think that the tire matters more than the package.
Agree. And dude, if we're ever in a world where we can have like the two cars on just shocks and aero, nothing else aftermarket, same tires, that would be like, we got close to that by having them near each other on the track, but having them on level playing fields is going to be impossible.
I mean, listen, you did a 15 or 14 in the Margarita.
Margarita 15.3.
15.3, and then in the SSR car
15.2.
15.2. You're off by a tenth after spending, he said he's over $100,000 on that build.
Yeah.
It don't matter because you didn't develop anything on the Margarita car.
That's a 14 car all day. Yeah.
Listen, this isn't a competition. Anybody who's saying that their kid is going to get you to GT3 levels, no, just accept the fact that the Cayman platform is great. The Cayman platform is fun. Mm-hmm. It's more rewarding, especially when you're passing these $200,000-$300,000 cars that don't have any business competing with you.
Yeah.
And it feels good. I think it's more rewarding. If you get into a 911, it's like when we went to VIR and I was driving the GT3 RS, I was like, dude, this is insane. Like, you feel like a fighter pilot just cutting through all the traffic.
Yeah.
So. And
then we have Syntax here. How's it going, man? He said the SSR kit did beat the GT3 on the Red Bull Ring. Don't forget, it's a 40K plus full package on top of an expensive car. I just have one question, because it seems like they're always comparing with different drivers, and if it's different drivers, then super fucking cool. But usually it's like the best we've seen is a GT3 do here is this, and then they bring in a pro driver to drive their SSR car and smacks it. So, and if it's not day for day, I mean, dude, there's so much in the air. If it's not the same day, then you can't even.
I don't know. Full package on top of the expensive car.
On top of an expensive ass car, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'd have to see that video. I have to see the data. I mean, trust me, I've looked at all the data, guys. I mean, I've looked at all the data between every lap that he's done in all these cars. It's to me, I do not think that it's that relevant.
Yeah.
I think you're tuning behavior, like what Matt's doing. He's tuning characteristics that he doesn't like out of the car, so that he can drive it the way he wants to, and his driving is what's getting him the lap time. Because if I get into Matt's car, I'm barely gonna run a fucking 225 in that car, and that's because he understands the characteristics. He knows what he wants to do with that car.
And he said the SSR had a 16-year-old racing driver do the hot lap in the good years. There you go. So it's a hot shoe versus maybe like a Porsche guy on a GT3 with like a somewhat of a setup on it.
I mean, again, are we talking about just the SSR car with the KW coils?
I think just KWs.
And that's it?
KWs slammed and not kinematic. So KW aero slammed. That's what their kit entails.
Okay, well, I want to see that video. That's all I'll say.
That'd be super cool.
I'm still not fully convinced that a GT4 RS with all the mods on it is going to get you GT3 or even GT. That's the one that gets me the most. GT3 RS levels of performance
on the same tire.
On the same.
Is that your?
Yeah. I don't even think on the same tire.
Okay.
I don't even think on the same tire. But listen, we'll leave it at that, because if not, we're just going to end up wrestling in here.
Hey, I mean, you see all the onboards, and you just see how much. Like every time I hop in the RS car, dude, I'm just giggling. Like it's definitely the most.
I'm not gonna lie. So when I watched your lap doing the 15 in the Margarita car, I was expecting you to do the traditional whoa, let's go.
Yeah.
And you were just like,
I'm just like, yeah, what I expect.
Cool, you did it. Like it's
yeah, because every fast lap, I'm like, let's fucking go, right? Because we have a target, and Margarita just busts out of 15, and I'm just like, cool story.
Cool. Yeah, cool story. So
story,
we'll
bro.
see. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and put Felix on the spot, because you just heard us say that Felix has driven 6 cars in one weekend, and his opinion was that a specific car was the GT car of choice. So we're gonna play a little game, Felix, and you guys can go ahead and chime along in the chat as well. But I'm gonna give Felix a task.
Hold
Go
on,
ahead.
because so Simon said the windshield was 3,500. It's more than that, anyway.
Oh, wait. We did close out that segment. So, how much is the windshield replacement on that 992.2 GT3?
It's like 5,300.
$5,300.
Okay, dale.
Okay. All right. So, you are now going to rank these 5 Porsches without knowing what comes next.
Okay.
Okay. So you have to rank it 1 through 5. All right.
I mean, you're gonna tell me which 5 cars, or I don't know?
I'm going to tell you one by one, and you have to rank it as soon as I ask you.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to start off with the 991.1 GT3 RS.
991.1 GT3 RS, our lava orange car.
1 through 5. 1 being the best, 5 being the worst.
But am I ranking based on like fun?
You're ranking it based off of what you like. You're ranking it based off of what you like.
That's a very good middle ground. I'm gonna say 3. So 991.1 GT3 RS, that's 3. That still has my heart.
All right. So now we're gonna go with the 992 GT3 RS. Where would you rank that car? 5?
5.
Damn. Hey, 5?
It's too good.
It's
too good.
Okay.
It's too good. So that goes in 5. I already knew that one was coming. I was like, number 5.
So then we have the.
That's playing in easy mode. It's cool, but keep it coming.
Okay, we're gonna go with the 718 4RS now. Where would you put that? Huh?
I don't want to put it in 4. I don't want to put it in 1. But it's high up there on the fun scale. So I'm just gonna say 718 4S is gonna be number 2.
Number 2. Number 2. Okay. Now we have the 981 GT4.
Jeez. 981 GT4. 981
So that has to be either number 4 or number 1.
Number 1. That's number 1.
That's number 1?
Yeah, 981 GT4.
Okay.
And GT3 is gonna.
And the 992.2 GT3 is number 4.
Number 4. You'll see it in my video. I'm just going through the start-finish shit, and I'm like, cool, this is a 15.
All right, so you got the 981 GT4 as number 1.
Number 1,
The
baby.
718 came in as number 2.
Well, okay, 981 GT4 is a manual.
Okay, sure.
That's
The 718 GT4 RS at number 2.
Number 2.
The GT3 RS is at number 3.
991.1.
991.1 is at number 3.
Yep.
Then the 992.2 GT3 at number 4.
Yep.
And you basically put all the most current generation GT3s at the end.
At the end, yeah.
So what was the point of making that video?
Shit.
You put the oldest Cayman at number 1 and then the newest GT4 RS at number 2.
Yeah.
Listen, guys. 992 3RS is a cheat code. It's a lot of fun.
It's cheat code.
I mean, shoot, I felt fast.
No.
But I'm not fast.
It feels awesome, but it's like, and you know, the ranking is fine now because the GT3 RS is basically, the GT3 is like cheat mode, but not GT3 RS cheat mode. So I'm like, yeah, you go to the back.
All right, well, listen.
Look,
So now go comment on the other video and be like, hey, all this being said, Felix still prefers a Cayman over all the 911s because you basically you put all the 911s on the back.
yeah, that's fair.
I mean, I'm not going to
Because if I'm going to the track with, okay guys, I just want to make it clear. I have the opportunity to drive all these cars because of the amazing friends I have and because of the amazing boss that I have.
Uh-huh.
If I had to buy one, and I was just gonna go out there have a freaking blast, it's GT4 all day.
I'm buying a BMW.
If I could afford a GT4, it would be a GT4. If I definitely can't afford a GT4, I'd buy a BMW.
I'll split it with you.
Let's do it.
I'll split.
Okay.
But you're buying more of the
tires
more
than
of the
consumables.
tires because you're gonna go through them more than me. I don't know, guys.
The point is, fun is not always fast, and we need to be okay with that. We need to stop looking at our lap timers.
Honestly, I've always just used the lap time as like, hey, this is where I'm at right now, right? My fastest in the first weekend out on track was like a 240 something. For me to be in the 20s is just like
Big deal.
yes,
For sure.
that's
For sure.
that's awesome for me, right?
It's a reference of improvement.
Yeah. So I mean, hanging out with you, I know that the GT4 can do at least a 2021 consistently on the track. Am I using that as a reference to how much faster I could be? Yes. But am I sitting there in the car looking at the timer going, I'm gonna beat Felix's time? No way. Actually, I hate when you drive it and then you leave the
reference lap or whatever, the spicy reference lap.
the diff on there.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm just on the track and I'm on the back straight and I can just see it going 5 seconds, 6 seconds, 7 seconds, 8 seconds. Get into 12, 15 seconds. So I'm not in, even with Ryan. Ryan has been my coach for the most part of me driving. And even I'm not getting anywhere close to him. Even Alvin, I like giving Alvin a lot of crap, but he ran a 225 or something like that in the GT4. I'm still 4 seconds off pace of Alvin. So congrats, Alvin. I gave you the greatest gift. You're no longer the slowest person on the team anymore. But to me, it's not about necessarily being the fastest. It's about attaining those skills to be that fast.
For sure.
Now, if I can be at like a 222 on the GT4, I'll be happy with that.
Yeah.
So I think I'm having a great time in the GT4.
Look, this being said, you guys are going to still be seeing some spicy comments or spicy content coming from us just because that's the way we have to make it so people want to watch it. And then we're talking all this stuff about mods not making this big a difference. You guys best believe we're still going to buy mods, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
so
again, but I think the point that we try to drive is the expectation portion of it, right? Don't buy this kit expecting 5 seconds lap time gains, because the fact of the matter is that all these guys were competing with a stock orange GT4 RS, and even somebody on a live was like, oh well, somebody said that all you need is slicks to go faster on the track. It's like, Slicks contribute
A lot,
but
yeah.
if you don't know how to maximize that grip on the track, you're not gonna get to a 216, bud.
But it's just-
it's just proven right now
Yeah.
because so many people are making videos about pro drivers getting 216s in their cars. So these cars, they are basically proving it for us. The mods don't equal the lap time, the driver and the tires matter more on how you exploit that grip.
Shut it down. You click it off. Click the whole
Hey.
video off.
Larry,
We're
listen,
good.
if I can get close to that, Larry, I'm gonna be hyped. I'm gonna be hyped.
Yeah.
There will be signs that I hit a 222. There will be signs because I probably won't even bring the car back. I probably just drive it straight to the shop.
Like, and then, John, let me write you a check for this thing.
No, I'm
okay, whoa,
I'm driving it straight to the shop.
Oh,
Okay, because I'm not gonna let nobody else touch the car for the rest of the day. John, you can sell it at this point. Because anybody else, no, we're good on that. But all right, guys, that's all we have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Like Felix said, we're being a little bit more argumentative about these topics because ultimately, at the end of the day, we want to prove certain things to you guys getting into the sport. And it's, you don't necessarily need to spend all that money. Set the expectations right on what you are wanting to gain out of that. I think Matt is a great example of that. He spent the money and now he's tuning that car. He's basically doing
That's the
what
road he wants to be on, yeah.
the F1 drivers are doing, right? Max Verstappen's like, give me the car however it is and I'll make it work. And then a lot of the other drivers are going, no, I don't like these characteristics or these behaviors, so let's tune that stuff out. And that's what he's doing, which is fine. I think Matt has the correct expectation when spending, I don't know how much money at this point on that car. So it is what it is. And even the SSR guy, Chris, he's into it $100 grand or so on the car.
For sure.
But he knows what he wants to get out of it. Ultimately, if you guys want a race car, just buy a club sport, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But
I
that's
mean,
a different topic.
Yeah, we had a little interview after the 3-car comparison, and then we asked Matt, like, what would you do? And he's like, oh, I'll probably use some of his parts and shit. And then Chris is like, I should have bought a race car.
I'm just like, that's not the point, brother. But either way, guys, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us on this Sunday. We won't be on the track until May because of certain things that have happened within the team. So the next track event you guys will see us at is at Ozarks.
Ozarks International. Yep.
At the end of May. So that'd be a fun track to go
That's
to.
going to be fun.
And I can't practice that on the sim, but I can practice Road America, which I have been. And that's going to be fun.
So make sure to join us for next Sunday. We're probably good for the next handful of Sundays. Invite your mom, your dog, your friends. Send them our way for more honest takes.
Yeah. And Larry, yes, you are the Max Verstappen, okay? You are the Max.
That's fucking cool.
All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. We will see you guys next Sunday, and we'll see you guys hopefully on the racetrack
Yeah, hopefully soon.
very soon.
I'll go visit you guys.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
All right, later, guys. And you suck.
What? Why?